Welcome to Jack's Shortcuts, where the topics from the past become the present of today. So, without further ado, let's begin. After Venom, The Last Dance became the last Venom movie, and Kraven the Hunter wound up doing poorly at the box office with critics and audiences simply feeling indifferent towards it. It's safe to say that the Sony Marvel universe, or at least the one in the theatrical format, is officially dead. And honestly, is this really a surprise? When the MCU peaked with Avengers Endgame, superhero movies, with perhaps a couple of exceptions, would do very poorly with critics and audiences alike, and while some of them did occasionally make money, they were few and far between. With that, it was just a matter of time until Sony's dying Spider-Man universe would eventually get the axe, given that with the exception of the Venom trilogy, and to some extent Morbius, everything else that Sony has put out was doing extremely poorly at the box office. I would be really sad if not for the fact that Sony dropped the ball real fast. Back when the first Venom movie came out, it has shown some promise because despite its PG-13 rating, it still had some fairly gruesome scenes, and apparently there is a R-rated cut of this film. While people behind the scenes have denied it, I still think they're not telling the truth, given that there were scenes that were clearly shot with an R rating in mind, but were awkwardly cut at the last second. Anyway, Venom Let There Be Carnage sucked, as it suffered from an overabundance of jokes, massacres that didn't involve a single drop of blood, Venom being an abusive boyfriend to Eddie, and the villains are more sympathetic due to their romance being decently written. Morbius, on the other hand, was really good. I've explained why the mid-credits scene did make sense, and everything else from the characters, acting, story, premise, etc. was well crafted and deserves an elaborate review. As for Madam Web, Venom 3 and Kraven the Hunter, I didn't watch any of these films because I really had no interest. And given that Sony's biggest cash cow Venom just had its story concluded, and any other movie besides Venom is making little to no money, it was only a matter of time for it to end as soon as it did. What could have been the mature equivalent of the MCU ended up becoming an unfocused mess. They tried to play things safe, and given that the genre they were capitalizing on has become more irrelevant as the years went on, ending on an anticlimactic note seems consequential. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.